Okay, so today I want to talk about something really important, you guys, especially for the men in the room. If um, if you're feeling anything less than joyful, excited, and ready to roll in your life, if you're feeling, you know, unappreciated, if you're feeling lethargic, you're lacking motivation, you're lacking energy, you're lacking drive, except maybe when you're playing video games or watching other illicit things on online, something's off. It's not meant to be that way, especially as a man majoring in the masculine force. We are drive. The masculine is drive. That's what it is. And so, if that's not happening for you, something is in the way. And I want to talk about a couple of things today to help you start maybe getting clear about what might be in the way. The main topic today is placeholders. Placeholders. Okay. Um, so, just realize, by the way, that I didn't change the title here. Well, let's call it placeholders. I'm not going to give you all the info about that right this moment. I want to tell you about a few things before I get to that, and then you'll understand better. Okay. Some of you may already know some of this information. Maybe, you've heard it in a different sort of language in other ways from other teachers. But placeholders are a problem. Okay. Just so you know. So if you're lacking energy, you're lacking motivation, not feeling successful, right? Or you want so much to feel successful in life, you want so much to have this drive, something is off. And I will tell you the two things that are likely missing in your world, highly likely. And I don't know if you guys know this, but you're not alone. Many, many men, especially young men under the age of 40, 35, under that age, many men are really struggling right now for two reasons: lack of purpose and lack of connection or community or communion or team, what I call true team, right? True team is truly extraordinary team, truly extraordinary connection with other men. Okay. If you have that, you're exponentially much more likely to succeed, to discover your purpose, know what it is, be about it, and make it happen in a big way that rewards the world, because your purpose isn't for you. It's really for the world, but it rewards the world. But in your pursuit of it and in your pursuit of perfecting it, it will reward you greatly on every level. Anything that may be lacking right now, if you're living a purposeful life, right, a purpose driven life, those things will not be lacking very long. Okay. And so, purpose and connection are the two things that are missing really for everyone in the world. Those are the only real two problems. And especially for men, purpose is a big one. Without it, you're dead in the water. Okay. Purpose is the motivator. Purpose is the driving force, the motivating force, right? Um, and passion is the fuel. Okay. You can't have either one of those things if you're caught up in a placeholder. Okay. Placeholders are those things you use to take the place of the things you actually want. They're often related in some way. They're sort of an inverted version of what you want, or many times not. They're just a medicator, something you do on a consistent basis, or probably multiple things to medicate the pain of being off purpose, dispassionate, not driven, feeling not successful, feeling unappreciated, right? I know some of you know what I'm talking about. You're not alone. This is actually the real epidemic, especially in the United States. And so lots of things can drive you, but if it's not purpose driving you, it's going to wear you out, right? Right? Purpose is the driver, passion is the fuel. If it's not purpose that's driving you, it's something else like fear, or fear of not being good enough, or fear of not having enough, fear of not being big enough, or whatever it is, successful enough, you will exhaust yourself very quickly because you'll be disconnected from that direct communication, the direct source of your passion, which is going to give you everything you need to succeed in ways you can't even imagine. And you're disconnected from the fuel, which is, your passion. So think about it. I mean, I don't know if you guys all believe in a supreme being, the universal force, whatever you want to call it, the vortex, God, whatever it is for you, whatever you like to call it. But if such a thing exists, and I know clearly that it does, I've had direct experience. Um, it's omnipotent, omniscient, and omnipresent, right? All powerful, all knowing, everywhere, always. Would a source that is all powerful, all knowing, give you a purpose that it wants you to have? It's your role. It's your part to play in the divine plan of creating heaven on earth. That's why we're here. We're here to contribute our purpose, our gifts, our strengths, our abilities to help create heaven on earth. Would it give you that and not give you a fuel for it, or a drive for it, a desire for it? Like, a lot of people think, oh, if I, commit to doing my purpose, finding out what the universe wants for me for my purpose, I'm going to hate it, or I'm going to be stuck doing something I don't want to do. I mean, many, many men think that. I've worked with lots of men, and really, it makes no sense at all. Would you not be given a purpose that has passion attached to it, right? Yes, of course. An all intelligent being would give you a motivator, give you an energizer. And so your purpose comes wrapped in passion. If you don't have a passion for it, it is not your purpose. Now, that's not to say there aren't things, when you're being about your purpose, you're living on, well, I say, like, living on purpose, you're living a life that is purposeful or purpose driven. It's not to say there aren't going to be tasks, or responsibilities, things that you need to do in order to help that purpose come forward in a big way. Like, I have to do accounting for my business. I hate it. But I don't hate it so much when it's about my purpose. So there'll be things you still have to do that you might not be so excited about, but most of your time and energy will be in, developing and producing your purpose, which will be energized by passion. And so even the things you don't necessarily have a great passion for, there'll be passionate energy behind it, and you'd be much more willing to do it, less likely to put it off, because it's going to help you bring your purpose forward. So there's still a driver for it. This is the problem. If what's driving you is not purpose, because there are other drivers, fear of failure, fear of not being good enough, whatever it is. If you're driven by fear, it's not like you can't still get things done and generate things in the world. You can, but you're generating them out of your very limited resource, right? Out of your limited resource. You're not plugged into the vortex, to the universal energy, which is passion. So it's not fueled by that. You get burned out very fast that way, very fast. You'll get sick, you get burned out. You put things off you don't really want to do or deal with, right? Because there's no passion and energy fueling you. And so you'll run out of gas very quickly, right? So all purpose is your true purpose, right? Your divine purpose, the thing you came here to do, is wrapped in passion. And so that's one way. There are lots of ways. Actually, there's a few ways, a few techniques that I use with men to help them get clear, like 100% clear and certain about your purpose. You can name it in a sentence, right? The sentence might change, how you say it might change, but the purpose itself will never change, not in this lifetime. Lots of vehicles for delivery. I used to run climbing wall business. I had 13 locations, but I was still being about the same purpose, right? That I'm doing now as a coach and a motivational speaker, right? To teach the power of love and teach to liberate the soul. That's my purpose, right? When I say teach love, I don't mean, romantic ooey gooey love, right? No, love is a powerful force, right? And so that is my purpose, to teach that. And so there are lots of ways to do it. I used to do it by, being focused on this climbing wall business, which I loved, right? And helping people get really clear, right? About their capability, their capacity, right? And the capacity of passion to be a motivator and a driver to push you past the things you think you can't do, right? I do that now, but in a more refined way. And it tends to, over time, you tend to get better and better at delivering your purpose. So you get bigger and bigger vehicles for delivery. So that's all I really want to say about purpose. Um, there are ways to get there, but just a little cheat sheet for you guys. Look where your passions are, move into your passions, and you will start to move towards your purpose. Look for what I call GATs, your gifts, abilities, talents, and strengths. If you get your GATs, you're going to get it, right? Your gifts, abilities, talents, and strengths, and your passion, those things are not an accident. The passion is the fuel. The GATs, your gifts, abilities, talents, and strengths, are the machinery, right? The purpose is the driver. The way to deliver is through the gifts, abilities, talents, and strengths. Okay. And so little hints there to look, but there's actually processes you can go through that help you get 100% clear and you can say it in the sentence. Now, one day maybe I'll help you do that. Reach out to me. I'm happy to do it. I do have a group mastermind, a group coaching program called the Power Cluster for Men. If you're interested in that, we actually have scholarships right now. We have a really generous sponsor who has scholarship 6 people so far. So they're open and available. If it seems like something you like to do, get clear about your purpose and live a purposeful life and get a clear vision for your next thing in life, either your business, your career, whatever it is. The Power Cluster would be a way to do that. That's just a side note, just to let you know. And so I want to talk about placeholders. Placeholders. Okay. You may or may not know what I'm talking about when I use that word, but a placeholder is the thing you use to take the place of the thing you actually want. It could be, there are lots of typical placeholders like food, alcohol, drugs, even workaholism. Porn is a huge one right now, all for all people, but especially for men. Um, and that one makes a lot of sense if you think about it. It's a very direct placeholder. If you're feeling lonely or you're not involved with a woman, and here's a weird thing, okay, you guys, 80% of young men haven't been intimate with a woman in 4 years. Isn't that wild? I don't want to get into all the reasons why for that, but it's not your fault if you're one of them, right? But there are things you are responsible for that you can do to change that. Okay. But if that's going on, and then you turn to, something like porn to fill that space, what happens with every placeholder is it becomes a place taker. Every placeholder becomes a place taker. I just realized I probably shouldn't be using the P word. But anyway, I'll try not to do that in a moment because, they may cancel this video on YouTube. But every placeholder becomes a place taker. And then what starts to happen is you get addicted to the placeholder and it gets in the way of the actual thing you want. It's taking the space of that thing and it's debilitating you. It's preventing you from being able to go out there and get the actual thing you want. And that spirals down into a very dark place, no matter what the placeholder is. And there, like I said, there are many. And, just YouTube can be a placeholder, right? Anything that you do to take the place of something else to medicate the pain of not having it. And so there are ways to get over your placeholders, and I can work with you on that. And I will be dropping more information about that. Not necessarily today, but just know your placeholder is blocking your purpose and it's blocking your passion. And even if it's painful, try putting your placeholders aside for one day, 2 days, 1 week, even. Just commit to a certain short period of time that you don't do it. And if you find that difficult to not do it, it's definitely a full-fledged addiction at that point. The best, you need to put structure in place to not do it. And the best way, you really got to get this, you guys. The most powerful structure is another human being, another guy, another man that will support you, that will hold you accountable, that you can check in with, right? Around your placeholder. If you're about to do it, you pick up the phone, you call your buddy instead, right? And so that's the most powerful. And then, of course, you would do the same for that person. So, um, yeah, accountability partners. That's what you need. But try it. Try one day, 2 days, 1 week would be great. And then watch what shifts in your world because things will start to shift pretty quickly. Right now, you may not be able to hold it if you're, it, you know, extra addicted to it. Like if the addiction is got a grip on you, that's where you're going to need some support. And it's okay. You're not alone. You're not alone. Everybody's got them. Almost every man out there has got some placeholder. Some are bigger than others. And so my recommendation is to move away from your placeholder, move towards your passion and purpose. And I'll give you one final thing today. One other way to start getting clear about your passion and your purpose. Ask. If you don't have a meditation practice, start one. 5 minutes every day, every morning, preferably. Get up, jump in the shower, wake yourself up. Let the last end of your shower be ice cold water. Get yourself awake and stimulated, and then sit down, take 5 minutes and listen. That's really what meditating is, just listening. You're going to pose the question, and then you're going to say, okay, I'm going to shut up now and I'm going to listen. Dear universe, dear source, vortex, the zone, whatever you want to call it, God, Holy Spirit, Jesus, Muhammad, whatever it is you want to call it. You call it whatever you want. It knows you're talking to it. Um, it is, filling you with life force energy in every moment. So it's here for you. It wants your attention. So give it your attention. Tell it you're curious about your purpose. And if you especially tell it that you um, want to devote your life to your purpose, because your purpose, you know, the vortex, God, source, is God given. It's given it to you. It is what this aspect of you wants for you. So, we are connected to our source, and what it wants for us is to be on purpose. It knows all of our joy, all of our power, all of our bliss is there, and it will help achieve the end goal of bringing heaven to earth. Okay, I know I said a lot. Anybody have any questions? You can drop it in the chat. I'm happy to answer it if you do that in the next minute or so. So purpose is the goal. Get clear about your purpose. Get clear about your passion. Know your gifts, talents, strengths, and abilities, or your gifts, abilities, talents, and strengths. Your GATs. Get your GATs, and things start to get easier. Team up with at least one other man. Best if you jump into a team of men, and that's again something we can offer you here. If you jump into the Power Cluster program, if you're interested in that, just drop a message, say Power Cluster. You can email me, mark@markvandergag.com, or you can go to my website, markvandergag.com. I have a new website coming up soon. As soon as that's live, I'll give you that one as well. Yeah, and check in. We'll let you know what is necessary, what it takes to apply for the program, especially if you want the scholarships. Okay. Um, so it's a high-end program. I'm not going to lie to you. There are a lot of people going to be supporting you. It takes a lot of work and a lot of effort, a lot of time. It's a 4 month plus, um, you know, coaching program. So you'll have your team coaching, you'll have one-on-one coaching. There's a lot to it, but we hold on to you until you get it, till you get it and you get clear about it. So yeah, if you apply for the program and apply for the scholarship, and we'll give you a way to do that. If you do that, the only financial requirement of you at that point, because it's all scholarship except a small percentage of it, $500 of it, um, you need to have some skin in the game. You know what I'm saying? But you'll have to turn in a video and fill out an application. Let us know why you're the right one, for this cluster. And a cluster is 8 to 12 people, no more than that. And so we can have multiple clusters, but your cluster will be a small group of men who care about you as much as you care about your own vision. And you will do the same for them. And I will teach you guys how to do that. Okay. All right. Get on to your passions, get on to your purpose, move away from your placeholder. The more you move away from that, the closer you'll get. You can only go in one direction or the other. You either go towards the placeholders or you go towards your purpose, right? Placeholder or purpose. Placeholders make you miserable in the end. They medicate you momentarily, but they leave you flat, right? No energy, no drive. Your purpose will fill you up. It'll fill you up. And beautiful things are on the path of purpose. If you want a woman, if you don't have her yet, some of you may, she's on that path. She's in that life somewhere. All the other things you want, whatever it is, nice home, nice place to live, traveling, nice car, all that stuff, they're all provided. You're provided with everything that you need and in a beautiful way. That's how it works. My experience. When I did the climbing walls, I didn't know what I was doing. I was 29 years old. I didn't know, but I had this vision. I had this clear drive, this passion, and I just jumped in. And along the way, all these things I didn't know I needed to do, everything I needed for them to show up came to me before I even know I needed it, right? And that's how life goes when you're on purpose, okay? All right. If you have any questions, mark at markvandergag.com. Hope to see you guys soon. Peace. Peace. Love you all.